Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Arduino EDUvision, Season 4, Episode 8, Halloween.
Ooh, hello and welcome,
I'm Melissa, and with me I have,
Roxana.
and we're from Arduino Education.
Indeed. But how are you guys? Remember to say hi on the chat. Tell us who you are and from where you're watching.
Yes, let us know if you're new to Arduino or if you already have like a bunch of Arduino projects. We would like to know.
Exactly. Let us know.
And like you can watch this from different social media channels.
Exactly.
What do we have?
YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Crowdcast.
Yeah. So wherever you're watching this from, hit the thumbs up
Exactly.
so we know, and add where you're from to the chat.
Exactly. And the heart. So we're already having people saying
Yay!
hello, hey, and welcome. Nice.
Continue doing that. Yes, from
Yes.
India. Oi, from Madrid, Spain.
Oh, nice.
Nice people joining.
Yeah.
And I can see
Welcome,
from YouTube,
everybody.
LinkedIn.
Yes, they're joining and saying hi.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. Remember that we have a dedicated website where you can read articles, watch tutorials, and the previous EduVision sessions too.
Yeah. And you can, of course, find our new EduVision podcast from that site. So we have already 8 episodes available on Spotify,
Ooh.
Apple Podcast, and for example, Anchor, where you find all the different links and all the different audio platforms.
Exactly. So there's no excuse for not listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
And today we will discuss science and how can we engage students and hold that engagement. Our special guest will tell us how to get more students interested in science and how to make it more inclusive.
Also, as maybe you noticed, we have a bit different setup than usually because this weekend is Halloween.
Exactly.
And for that, we asked you on social media channels who is the scariest scientist or your actually favorite math scientist. And we have a picture of that
Ooh,
voting, so you can vote now
let's take a
using the
look.
chat.
Nice.
Yeah, there you can see there is 4 different ones. So there's Dr. Evil, Victor
Exactly.
Frankenstein,
Henry Jekyll.
and Herbert Weiss.
Exactly.
So West, which one is your favorite? You can also still vote on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So go
And
to
Twitter
Arduino's.
too.
Yeah,
So let us know which one is the craziest scientist.
yeah. There was someone asking, mention the name of the website. Oh, that's a good point. If we didn't say it yet, it's arduino.cc/education/eduvision.
Yeah, from there.
I can actually even share
Yeah,
my
okay.
screen.
So meanwhile, we're saying hello. Okay, so Robert says it has to be Dr. Evil. So I agree. That's very fun. Yeah, so we're already having some answers from people saying which is their favorite
Yeah.
doctor. So that's really cool. So, but then go also to the poll and vote there on Twitter or LinkedIn. You will find there the poll. So go there and vote.
Yeah. And as mentioned, here is the EduVision website.
Oh, cool.
So you can find
Yeah.
all the things that we talk about here, all the different links. You can sign up for the episodes, upcoming episode.
Exactly.
There's still 2 left for this season. You can share your project, find the previous episodes, tutorials, and articles.
And more. Exactly. Cool. So today we have also prepared a Halloween project. So yay! Let's take a look at a video that Anton prepared for us.
Yes.
Ooh.
So if you want to know more about this project, we're going to present it later. Anton is going to explain how he did this and how it works. And we have also some other Halloween projects that we're going to share with you later in this episode. But if you have any questions related to the spooky pumpkin, you can add them now to the chat, so
Yeah.
we're ready then when it's time to explain the project.
Exactly. So it's time to talk with our special guest, Maynard Okerake, or better known as Hip Hope MD. So Maynard graduated from the University of Washington with a degree in civil engineering. He's an award-winning science communicator, having received both the Asteroid Award for Best Streaming Content and the People of Change Award for his community outreach and efforts.
And his passion for science and entertainment, oh, I don't know how to talk today, along with his curiosity for new innovation, has taken him through an incredible life journey. Maynard now uses his knowledge of science to help inspire minorities and youth by bridging the gap between music, entertainment, and science, encouraging more diverse involvement in STEAM fields.
Exactly. His weekly blogs and daily social media posts provide both humorous and informative special science content.
Yeah, so let's hear how the guy behind the Hip Hop Science Show got interested in science.
Yay.
I just loved exploring. I loved being outdoors, going out in like local areas and exploring ponds and streams and catching snakes and frogs. Like that was just something I just loved doing, right, from a very young age. And my parents were very helpful as far as feeding into a lot of the different things I loved. Like I remember my mom had got me these wildlife fact cards that had all these different random facts about wildlife. And I used to collect these cards. And even to this day, I could just list off just random facts about organisms, where they live, their reproduction, habitat, all these different things, right? And so I just kind of fell into that cycle and reading National Geographic magazines and just being, really invested in that, really from an early age. And that's really what connected me with science. I grew up in that generation of like, when am I ever going to use this? And I think all of my peers, we all were in that same bottle as well too. And so we had this perspective by the time we were done with school that we were just never going to use any of this information, and that we were just kind of spinning our wheels, right? And we were just literally hamsters in a rodent trap, just rotating and just doing this work without any particular goal. And that's really how that was presented to me. And that's kind of what I thought science was just something you just had to learn because you had to do it, but the applications weren't presented. And that's something I'm definitely trying to change with the work that I'm doing, is showcasing the true applications, making connections by now fusing it with everything from hip hop to music and fashion and whatnot, making that connection to where it's now more palatable and you can understand why it's important and what influence it has in your life. And getting hands-on, right? The hands-on learning aspect is so critical, because if you don't actually touch it, if you don't experience it, if you don't physically see it, then you have a disconnect. You just have a natural disconnect. And so the ability to be able to develop things, design things, you now have that application to be able to know this is what it feels like. This is where it can be used. This is how the things that I use in my day-to-day life apply to this. So the hands-on dynamic is so important. That's something that we need to continue doing. It's something that we need to emphasize a lot more.
You had the chance to try out the Arduino Science Kit Physics Lab. So what do you think about those experiments? What do you think about the kit?
I actually have the kit right here with me.
Nice.
But it's especially within physics, because physics is one of the easiest things that you can be able to get hands-on with, right? Because physics applications is what controls everything that we do on a day-to-day basis, right? And so I think the coolest thing about this was the integration with the phone app. So to be able to have that app now where you can collect data on the phone app and you can integrate it with different things that are going on with your hands-on tools, because we're already, at this stage, youth are always on their phones anyway, right? So they have access to a phone, they're playing games on their apps, they're watching other things on apps. And so now to be able to have this physical app on their phone that they're already connected with, and then now have this physical tools in this kit where they can now register data, you start to do things that are important in the scientific realm, right? So you talk about an experiment itself, right? You have the whole scientific method that kids are able to now physically apply by having this. You can read about what the experiment is. You can predict what the results are going to be. You can utilize the app to collect your data, right? You can try out different variations of the kit, because that's something that scientists have to do on a regular basis when they're collecting data, is really understand the experiment, predict different things, have hypotheses, and then understand exactly what those results mean. So I think that's important for kids to have, and that's something I love supporting. And so that's why I was excited just to be a part of this platform, to be able to at least talk about that and support the work that Arduino is doing.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, and that platform has a lot of great content.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
very fun to watch too.
Yes. Also, on your platform, you stress the importance of representation in STEM. Could you tell us more about that?
So representation is so key to be able to now, for us, feel included, to draw that passion into going into the STEM fields. Because if you don't see people that look like you in those fields, why are you going to want to study them in the first place? And then by the time you do, making sure that we can now keep that workforce employed and keep people in those positions and work their way into greater positions of power once they get into those doors. It's important to have people that look like you, that can support you, that can bring you up as well too, that can mentor you, and give you the skills that you need to continue to grow in that space. And so I touch base on that on everything that I do with my platform, even just being this Black scientist, talking about hip hop and comedy and entertainment and all these things emerging in these fields. It's so important for people to see that, because they don't typically see somebody that looks like me talking about these things, especially the fusion of those things. And so representation is key for our growth and development, especially when it comes to the STEM fields.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's great to hear that you had the passion and you were driven to do that, even you didn't have the role model. So you were maybe sometimes alone, or felt like you're not the one who's supposed to be here, but still you had the passion to go on.
To keep going.
Yeah.
That's important part. Like, you can fail 1,000 times, but you really fail when you stop trying. So
Yep, that's very true. And passion is so key. But at the same time, your passion can only take you so far if you're not really, if you're not truly supported, and if you're not truly elevated, right? And I think about all the students that have probably been lost or driven out of STEM, all the amazing inventors or future scientists that could have been, that either didn't have people in positions as far as teachers or parents or other people around them that could have helped elevate them and bring them up. They may have had a passion for whatever that field was, but they just didn't pursue it, or they left it because they felt it didn't speak to them, or that they didn't belong. And we've probably lost so many different brilliant minds that could have done amazing things just because there wasn't representation in the room and there wasn't support in the room to be able to help drive them to where they needed to go and help elevate their passion to a physical space where they can now take that and make it into something great. So it's important to have that representation in the room, for sure. A lot of the work that I've done in my platform has been sparked from me just being curious and just being like, hey, I wonder what that sounds like, or I wonder what that looks like, or I wonder what somebody in this field would do, and just going after it or researching it, or getting it stuck in a wormhole in my Google searches, or going to a local wildlife area and exploring, or talking to somebody, or reaching out to somebody on social media that's doing something that I'm interested in. There's so many different things that can be sparked by just being curious and asking questions. And all these adventures that I've gone on, from the ocean expedition to the zero-G and beyond, I had a love and a curiosity about what ocean research would look like. And I didn't think I was going to get accepted into this fellowship. I'm like, I don't have the background in this, but I have a passion and I care about it. And I was able to exhibit that passion in the application that I submitted for doing that research. And then the doors opened up, and now I've gone on a whole marine biology expedition with legit marine biologists and learned so much from them, and seeing the day-to-day of what a marine biologist does. And I can now articulate that in my platform. I have that connection with it. And so I think it's important for people to remember that you can do a lot of different things, no matter what age you are, no matter what your background is. That can open the doors for so many things just by being curious and asking questions and exploring. And we need to make sure that no matter what age we are, we continue to do that, because it's going to not only help us grow, but it's going to help people that are coming up from behind us, that are looking up to us and seeking us as mentors and seeing us as people that they hope to aspire to be, is going to continue to drive that passion for them as well.
Thank you so much, Maynard, for your time, for all these insights, and for inspiring others.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Cool. It was a very interesting chat with Maynard. But we also have an article about him called How Representation and Connection Are the Secret Ingredients for STEM Students on our website.
And we want to thank our education partner Pitsco for the collaboration bringing Maynard to EDUvision.
Exactly. Thanks for that. And to learn more about the Hip Hop ND, you can go to his website. It's like on the banner, but it's like hiphopscienceshow.com.
Yes.
Yes.
You can find all his different platforms he has. He has a lot of YouTube videos, Instagram content, and great articles on his site.
Yeah, he's very active. And of course, you can listen to the full interview with Hip Hop ND on our EDUvision podcast. He tells us more about his zero gravity flight, 13 days at sea expedition, and how it feels to pursue a career in STEM when you don't feel like you are represented.
Yeah, I think we had a really great discussion on that. And it's also like I mentioned to him that when I was studying computer science, there were not that many girls. So yeah, you feel like you need that role model. And sometimes it's enough when you have only one. And sometimes you don't have any and you still have to keep on pushing and end up where you want to be.
Very inspiring conversation. Don't miss that.
You can find the link to the podcast from the EDUvision site, so arduino.cc/education/EDUvision-podcast.
Yes. And if you want to try the kit that Maynard was mentioning, you can get your Arduino Science Kit Physics Lab now on 20% discount until the end of this week, Sunday, 31st of October. You can see the discount when you visit our digital store.
Yes. So you can find the discount from our store. And remember the Arduino Science Journal that you can start using already today if you want it, or this minute actually. It is free app and it's available for Android, iOS, and Huawei. And together with the app, we have a bunch of fun experiments for you to try at home or school. And all these are also free. And most of them you only need some household, I don't know, like a cardboard or there's one activity with your bike. Many people have a bike, so you can do that with the app and try that. So you can find more from the Science Journal site.
Exactly. Very fun activities that you can try at home. So also, today we have collected amazing Halloween projects from the Arduino community.
Yes, we have a lot of them. And we have collected 2 different videos where we collected projects from you guys. You can always see the name of the YouTube channel on top of the video. So if you want to go and look at the whole video or you want to see the tutorial they have, you can find their channel if you follow that name. But we can watch the first video.
Yes.
There are many different kinds of animated Halloween props, and they can all be hacked. But in this project, I'm going to focus on battery-powered props that have a test button. These props have a button somewhere on the package that lets you activate the programmed animation. By connecting to the terminals of this button, you can control the prop with an external circuit such as an Arduino. So, start by removing the switch from its housing. Then, use a multimeter to measure the relative voltage between the terminals of the switch. To help keep track of which terminal was positive and which terminal was negative, I colored the sides of the button with red and black markers. To simulate the button being pressed, we're going to connect a transistor across the terminals of the switch. For an NPN transistor, connect the collector to the positive terminal of the switch and connect the emitter to the negative terminal. Then also connect the emitter to the ground pin on the Arduino, and connect the base of the transistor to a digital pin with a 1K resistor. When the digital pin is set to high, the prop should play its animation. Repeat this same process to add as many additional props as you want.
What's up? Zach Scott here, and I'm with my friend Samuel Sidey once again. He has made a motion-controlled talking skeleton to put out on his front porch this Halloween for the kids.
That's right, Zach. Let me show you how I put it together.
Okay, Samuel, this skeleton talks and he's motion-controlled. Let's talk about some of the guts here.
Okay, this is what powers everything. This is the Arduino, which is a wonderful microcontroller. Really easy to use because I'm still a beginner at this.
Okay, so it's motion controlled. Let's get into that. Where's the sensor on the skeleton guy?
This right here is the actual motion sensor. You can get these at Radio Shack. It's just a parallax motion sensor.
Okay, so you have a servo inside this skull right here that
Yes,
moves
right
his
here.
mouth up and down.
Yeah, with the little, attached with the little paper clip right here to the jaw. These are two super bright red LEDs.
Okay.
And I just took a ping pong ball and cut it in half, and then used a Sharpie to color in the inside of the
Oh, I didn't
ping
see
pong
that.
ball. And then I mounted the LEDs. I just put 2 holes in it so that I could slide the wires into the ping pong ball.
Okay, Samuel, with all that together with the microcontroller down there, let's take it outside and see it in action.
Let's do it.
Hey kids, come here. Let me tickle your funny bone. Why was the graveyard so noisy? All the coughing.
Those were some cool projects, and we're going to see some more. But before that, let's turn the mic to Anton.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Let's see if I can keep this together here.
Nice.
There
So,
we go.
yeah, Anton will tell us more about the project that he built and the video that we show you at the beginning. So.
Yeah, if you want to spice up your Halloween jack-o'-lantern, you can grab a ultrasonic sensor and some LEDs. In this case, I have a NeoPixel grid, but you can use ordinary LEDs as well. So Melissa, if you can just exactly. So if anyone walks past that or puts their hand in front of it, then it lights up. So it's a very, very simple project, but I think it makes it a bit cooler than just having a candle in the jack-o'-lantern.
For sure.
Yeah.
And safer.
Exactly. And then we have some other small little projects on the front of the camera here. But can you show them the skulls?
Yep.
There we go. So we have some 2 skulls there, one there and one there. Exactly. And that's just 2 LEDs and a random blinking pattern. So it's pretty easy to get some cool stuff going with Arduino for Halloween. So you should really spice up your home with that stuff. So
Yeah, just some small details that make the difference. And as you mentioned, it's not that hard to make the LEDs.
not
and
at
the
all,
pumpkin.
not at all.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
for the pumpkin, it's just a conditional if statement. So if you walk past it, then it lights up. So it's pretty easy, but I still think it makes quite a difference from an ordinary candle.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you should try. It's very easy to make, and actually it's very fun. So
It is.
you should build projects no matter like where, or it doesn't matter, but now that it's Halloween, it makes it like more special to get creative and do this
Exactly.
kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope you get some inspiration from this and also from the videos that we showed you before. Cool.
Yeah, so thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Anton. We see you next week.
We do. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I think Anton is my favorite math scientist.
That's true. Yeah, you forgot your glasses.
Yes, add him to the stream so you can all see.
Okay, again.
Yeah,
Woo, mad scientist.
crazy dude.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at another video that we have from you guys. So all the different Halloween projects from the Arduino community.
Cool.
The basic logic is this. The 2 things that we're really controlling, or 3 things we're controlling, is the volume of the lightning. And so the volume is the same on the audio tracks, but is adjusted every time there is a thunder track played. So it is a random number that drives the volume. So quiet to really loud. That volume determines how bright the flashes are, and it also determines the duration of time between the flashing and the sound playing.
chaos. Let's see what happens.
Oh, that's very cool.
That last one was really creepy.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I would be so scared to walk home and see that bird. Happy
Like, happy
Halloween.
Yeah, that's cool. But it's fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So also from our EDUvision site, you can find an article with 4 spooky Halloween lessons for middle school.
Yeah, there are 4 different lessons. There's spooky soft crystal shapes, glow-in-the-dark goo, ghostly chromatography, and the scary Arduino pumpkin.
Yeah. So we can... Oh, there are videos too, right? That
Yeah,
you can-
some of them have a video, some of them have a
Instructions.
different kind of tutorials. So you can
Exactly.
do it at home with your kids or with your students at school.
Yeah. So remember that we still have 2 more episodes left of this season. So now is your chance to get some Arduino goodies by submitting your Arduino project on our EDUvision website, arduinocc/education/eduvision.
Yeah. So from this site, you can find the form where you can submit your project. So now is your last chance.
Ah,
Next week and then a week after that, you still have time to share your project with us, and maybe you see it here on EDUvision.
yeah, exactly. And you can win some really good stuff. So
Yeah.
try that. So I think this is all for today's episode.
Yeah, so if you have a Halloween project, if you have your own YouTube videos, for example, of your Arduino projects, you can still use the chat to share them. I would like to go on a Sunday and check all
Yeah,
those different
exactly.
links. So even if you're watching this after the live, you can share your Arduino projects or link to the Arduino projects you have.
Yeah, there's still time.
Yeah.
So don't forget to join us next week on Thursday, November 4 at 5 p.m. Central European Time and
Yeah.
celebrate STEM Day with our special guest, William Church.
Yeah. Bill Church is a physics professor and executive director of White Mountain Science, WIMS, a STEAM outreach and a curriculum development organization in northern New Hampshire.
Exactly. Yeah. Very interesting conversation, so don't miss that. So thank you so much again for joining, and see you all next week.
See you next week. Happy Halloween.
Bye.